Hello, hello. Let's see. Oh, I hope you can hear me. It says that I'm live. Yay! Sorry, I get excited because, you know, sometimes these things don't work. I hope you can hear me. And let me move my button here. Oh, wait, now it says that I'm live. Okay, hi again. How you doing? Let me just make sure that I can see the chat window. Let's see. I can see. Yes, I think I can see it. So come on in, say hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Rocio, for those of you who don't know me yet. I'm one of the group moderators in this community of I Should Be Writing and also a resident coach for Kathy Masak LC. If you're listening live, please go ahead and drop in the chat because I think I can see it now, where you're coming from and where you're tuning in. And if you're watching the replay, just go ahead and put hashtag team replay, and then that way we'll know that you actually watched the video. Today, I'm going to talk about something that I'm super interested and passionate about, and that is two ways co-writing or co-working communities can help you make time. And that's a big thing to tackle. So I started off with three ways to do this, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna tackle the first two because there are too many things, and these two are super important. And I feel that those are the ones that you probably want to hear about in case you're interested in making time. So in this level up life, I'm basically tackling proverbial question of how to make time. Nympha, I see you. Yeah, I see the chat. Qué emoción. So yeah, and I wanted to just start with a short story because this is something that I've been thinking about ever since we had this conversation, this interaction in one of our groups. So not too long ago, in one of my favorite co-writing and co-working communities, that's Latinas, one of our amazing geoscientists, Leai, sorry, Leai, I can't mention your name. She's badass, so she's awesome. Anyway, we were doing co-writing. It was Nicole, Yaika, and I think it was just, yeah, and then me. And so she asked, how do I add hours to my calendar? And of course, me being me, I was like, oh, let me just tell you how to use the Google Calendar. And, of course you knew, but I was like, let me just give you instructions. And then it was funny because Nicole's like, no, no, Rocio. And Nicole is our other, one of our, she's, I guess she's mid-career. I don't know. She's vibrant. So I see her as early career, but she's definitely not. She's experienced, amazing geoscientist. And so she's just awesome. And she was in the room and she's like, no, Rocio, this is about that question of how do we make time? How do we make our day longer? And I was like, oh, and so, of course, maybe me, I just started brainstorming. Oh, these are all the things that I know about and that I've tried and that have worked. And so I just listed a bunch. And I put them here just to kind of like to keep it to tell you exactly what blew it out of my mouth. Focus, focus, mission statement, personal philosophy, say more no to say more yes, making room for what's important. So if you've heard my level ups live before, you might think, oh, she's just like giving titles of things that she's talked about, or somebody in the group, one of the coaches have talked about, maybe Gina, maybe Kathy. And that's kind of like what I was doing. I was like, no, wait a minute. There's probably something more, something that they can relate to because they've been using that co-writing and co-working group for a while. And so I was like, yeah, let's just think about this. And so that's how I started thinking about, like, a long time ago, about what in the future I would like to share with you. And that future is now. And so today I kind of wanted to distill maybe the two main ways in which this co-writing or co-working can actually help us make more time to do anything we need. Probably you're interested in writing and working more, but I'm going to say, that's not the only thing, but yeah, you can create some time. And so just to give you a bit of a background, many of you have heard, I think I have a level up life on this specific topic and the ways that one does it, I guess. Um, and so I've been doing this facilitating, creating, and running co-writing and co-working communities for a while now. I started on and off in 2009. I've been doing it in a volunteer basis. I've also been paid to do it. So it's like I have a lot of experience in that. Um, and I can tell you from that experience that this is just a powerful tool, and I'm really a believer of it. And it can really serve anyone in any demographic to support their careers, but also support the person, right? And because now we live in this online world, it might be the kind of thing that one needs to do online, but in the past and perhaps in the future we can go back to physical. But either way, it's flexible enough that it helps to support many of our own lifestyle and choices. And so you have co-writing and I'm going to use co-writing and co-working almost the same way because you can tailor and tweak it, but you can have phone calls and facilitators. You can have Zoom meetings, and that's kind of like the main thing that we use in the Momentum program with Kathy. But it's not the only way, and actually that's not the only thing we do. But that's how we mostly do the co-writing. You can do streaming live, and that's something that is now I think it's called work streaming, but it's the same thing. It's co-writing and co-working, and you can find it via Twitch. So if you haven't seen it or heard of it, just go check it out. It's kind of cool and interesting, and I think here Latinas is going to do a little bit of that too soon. Um, and so, yeah, there are different ways, different tools to use, right? And you can also do the different modalities of it. So you can be all together and mute, and that's usually what we do in Momentum, the co-writing membership program that we have at Mesa KLC. You can also do some talking, a little before and a little after. You can do a lot of talking, maybe a little too much. And so, really depends on the project that you're working on. Um, the people that you're working with in the season of your life. Really, that's what it boils down to. So I'm going to say co-writing and co-working. There are many ways to do it. They all have a time and a place. And I would say try the ones that fit you or that you think will fit you. And then when something doesn't quite fulfill that need, then, try the next one because it always, to me, it's like it's a lifeline. So before I dive in even further and give you like the two main tools or the two main ways that this tool can help in making time, I want to share that it all goes back to reframing our mindset too, because I want to I wanted to say that even though I'm saying, oh, how do we make time? It's not always about time, it's always about the energy. And so it's not only time, but also energy. And that's something of a mind shift that we need to work on sometimes. And that's something that comes with experience. Um, this whole idea of being able to see energy and time can tie to having the focus time that you need, and also with the confidence that comes with accomplishing different milestones. And so all of the focusing and all of the celebrating the milestones and the confidence that you get from that, um, get really closely to the community that you do the co-writing or the co-working with. And so to me, that's kind of like the magic of both co-writing and co-working. All these things tied together, but it really depends on the people involved. Yeah, you can do it alone for a little bit. I've tried it. It kind of works, but it's a lot better and definitely more powerful when you do it with people, and especially with people that you can form a community with. And so the two main things, without further ado, are the first one, create focus time. So this is the one way, right? Again, it's not always the best time when you join the co-writing or co-working sessions. It may not be your prime time to write. It may not be like when you're used to like having the most, but you can recreate that focus time by being in the room. Particularly if you're with inspiring people, you're committing to do that one thing that you need to do. And even if you go for 15 minutes, which is sometimes what time we have, right? You can still produce more than what you are used to doing in any other 15 minutes. You have a plan, you have a task, you have a goal, and you go and tackle it. And so the idea is that you're creating more in that little time. And so that's how you're creating time. And again, it's because all your energy and focus are going to be in those 15 minutes for that one thing. And then you end up multiplying that. So it's also a boost of confidence the more you can figure out that when you can do this and how it works for you. And that, it's almost like it's a boost in confidence, and at the same time it fuels what you're doing because you're doing what you love or you need to do for your careers. You want to do all of this because then you can have your voice coming out to the world, and that's really the bottom line. How are we the scholars that we want to be, with the writing that we do, all the things that we create? And so certainly co-writing, co-working can help in that one way. Again, creating focus time. Maybe it's not what normally comes to you as focus time, but it can actually help you recreate it, and you produce all of the stuff in more time in less time, and so you create time, you make time. The second point that I wanted to touch on is the shift in mindset, and this is like it's critical, and sometimes it happens as you're participating in the co-writing and co-working, and then even when you allow yourself to reflect, and we have various tools in Momentum if you're interested in that program to do it. If you don't have Momentum but you have other groups, I would strongly encourage and suggest to please have some ways to be able to figure out where are you on your mindset and how you're approaching things, because if you do it strategically, if you have a way to measure what is it that you're doing, when you're doing it, celebrating whatever you accomplish, so that you can come back for more. And so gathering this data, and I'm a geoscientist, so I like to get my own data. So anyway, gathering your data on yourself and how you work and when you work, and almost like making it more efficient, I guess we could call ourselves making ourselves more efficient. We learn a specific kind of like you can use this gathering data to almost like guide the work when you have the time and for the things that you need to do. And that already in itself is a shift in mindset. We have people coming to momentum is going like, oh, I don't want to use the spreadsheet, and that's fine. We don't have to. You can do it any way you want, but at the same time, if you're able to gather data on yourself and how you work and what you do and when are you, how can you be more focused and do what you need to do, it allows you to make time in many ways. And so I'm going to give you an example. And this is something that I see on and on with specific clients when they join momentum. I tell them just join for, 15 minutes if you haven't, 30 minutes. That's fine. Our room is open 24/7. So really, it doesn't matter when you join. And we have 6 scheduled sessions where most people gather. So there's plenty of time. And even then, you don't have to be there for the whole block of hour that we schedule. You can be there for 30 minutes. And so I said, go there, sit down for 30 minutes. And then you can start looking at, set a goal. Say, for example, write 3 drafty paragraphs of the introduction in 30 minutes. And so the next time you have no time and you're looking to make time and you join your co-writing or co-working group, then you can actually use the 30-minute mark, and or maybe half it if that's what you have, and whip up those 3 paragraphs for, and even though they're very drafty, I'm not saying it's going to be a polished thing unless you've been practicing, because I've seen that happening too. And you can create that and you can make that happen. And in a sense, you're making time this way. And so this is, the tool that I'm talking about that some of you momentum have seen ad nauseum, because we post it everywhere. We use it a lot. It's really useful. This is something that I created like years ago. At first, I think it was for a group of academic mamas, maybe even before that. I refined it, so I've taken care. I've tested it with my subjects, and so with all the IRB. So it's not a like a written thing yet. But I've tested it and refined it with the Geo Latinas co-writing group and co-writing community and co-working. And now that we use it heavily in momentum, it's being refined even more further. And so we know that it works, and I see it working daily. And so I encourage you, if you're gonna use, if you're in momentum, you know what I'm talking about. You're gonna have it. We're gonna facilitate it. We're gonna teach you how to use it, and we're gonna grapple with that together. If you're not in momentum, then find a way to almost like strategically measure what is it that you're doing and when you're doing it, how you're doing it, so that it can feed your data gathering, it can inform your process, and also create that shift in mindset. Okay, so I did a lot of talking already. Again, I'm going to encourage you again to use. I'm a firm believer of co-writing and co-working communities. I have a chronic disorder. That's the thing that has helped me when I've had it really, really bad. Like right now, you can see my eyes dropping a little in my eyelids. I don't know if you can see that, but in the past, I've had issues even walking from, my bed's over there. My desk used to be over there. Just walking those 10 steps, I couldn't. And so these communities for co-working and co-writing have helped me actually continue doing the things that I want to do and need to do and love to do, because I feel the need to share with the world. And so I'm a firm believer for many reasons, and if anything, because I've seen it working on myself, I see it working with my clients. So I'm gonna suggest you use it, give it a try. It's not for everyone, but for those of you who you're willing, just go ahead and do it. It's a great tool. If you're interested in momentum and you want to give it a try, that's also a great thing to do. This is not the group for momentum. We have a special Facebook group that's separate just for people who are in momentum. I've seen amazing transformations. That spreadsheet and the mindset minis that we have and everything that goes to helping us develop that consistency in our writing have done amazing things for many people, including myself. And so I can see it working for many of you. If you have questions, just like tag us in the comments of this. We also have a web page for more information. So I think I'm gonna put that in the replies. Again, that's a special community momentum. It's a membership program. I should say it's very affordable, so it's not that bad. But I wanted to mention it just so you know. And again, it's not the only way to do co-writing. There are many ways, as I listed above, but at the same time, I've seen it working. I'm the program lead for that one, so I know it works and how it works. I can definitely vouch for that one. And you can find out a little more about it in our even in Kathy's podcast, so you can hear a little bit more of how that goes. But if you have questions, let me know. I'm gonna put the link here and also maybe a little bit of information. All right, I'm out of time. I passed my time. It's still 16 now. So it was lovely to see you. It's been a while, and I hope I come back next time with something other than tools because I want to. There are so many things I want to touch with you, touch base with you. So I will see you next time. I hope you are well, that your family and your loved ones are well. It's tough times for many of us all around, and we realize that, and that's probably why I think these tools, the co-writing and the co-working, can help us almost like get our feet together. I was actually okay. Now I'm gonna blow the time. I was actually talking with a client who is right now one in India, one in Canada, and where was the other one? The other ones I think is Colombia. That was a while ago. We're all in different places, different stages of our life, different concerns and worries, and it's hard to write. Like that's the bottom line. And if you're working, it's hard to work. If you don't have kids at home, you still have something at home, and even if not, you have yourself and your mindset. And so I feel that co-writing communities and co-working communities can really help us. If anything, just stay connected and just do the little steps, even if it's all about journaling and figuring out what the next step is going to be. All right, my dear. Oh, Niva, you're still here. So lovely. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to all the Geo Latinas. I know Adriana's here, and I think, well, Rose is here. There are so many others. And shout out to all of the Momentum people. Yay, because you're all amazing. And I'll be seeing you in that group in just a little bit. I'll talk to you later. Bye.